Welcome, all my Negroes and Negrettes. Welcome to the Ubiquitous Blacks podcast. I am your co-host, BK here, and today we're going to get into some business. We got this new movie called Relationship Goals. It's just gotten released on Prime Video. It's featuring Method Man and Kelly Rowland in it. You know what I'm saying? So you know the movie's going to be good. And to help me get through this whole shebang, because I ain't going to be doing this alone. I ain't going to be reviewing this film alone. Today, I got my partner in crime, T Grizzly, in the building. Say what's up, T.
The name T Grizzly has been taken.
Yeah, but you know T and then use a bear. So
I'm a bear? What? Anyhow, there is this film that you mentioned. So we're going to be talking about relationship goals, as you said. This film, now, okay, I'll be totally honest with you, Brandon. We're going to roll into this. When I went into it and I said, hey, we got to watch this, the whole reason I wanted to watch it was because there was Kelly Rowland and there was Method Man.
Right.
I didn't really need much else after that.
Exactly. I didn't either.
Because if I had researched and dug into a lot of stuff, I probably would have been like, I'm not really gonna prioritize or watch this. But I watched it nonetheless. This film, when I first knew I was in for it, I was watching and I was like, oh, there's the name I recognize when it comes to certain movies. And that's Devin Franklin. You know, that's Megan Good's ex, right?
Right.
And he produces faith-based films. So when I saw his name pop up there, I said, is this a faith-based film? And it somewhat was, but I feel like it was very loose in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had me going into it, for one, I had saw like a tiny little clip of it or a little glimpse of it because I walked in on my mom watching it like a few days ago. And so when I see Method Man and Kelly Rowland in the movie, I was like, oh, okay, I might watch that a little later. That looked like it's gonna be good because Method Man in the movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's definitely probably gonna be decent. So then you said that we were gonna watch it. I was like, okay, cool, let's get down to it. So I took the time to actually go back to one of my friends' house so that we could watch it together because I enjoy sitting down and actually watching these films with company. You know, it just makes it more enjoyable. And honestly, I didn't need much. It literally, it's Kelly Rowland, Method Man. I didn't need to know the plot. We didn't look at the plot. We didn't read through the description.
Nothing.
We didn't look at nothing. We just went straight into it. There wasn't much needed. Wasn't much needed before.
I will say this. I saw Devin Franklin's name pop up. So I was like, okay, this is faith-based film. And then I watched it. And I kept watching it. And I was like, wait, I'm enjoying myself. Hold on. All the rom-comness, you know, with rom-coms, they can be a bit cheesy, a bit corny, a bit tropey at times. However, when done right, if there's chemistry on camera, you end up having a good time if you allow yourself to. Right? I was pleasantly surprised with this. Now, this was all prior to me gaining information as I was watching the film, right? Kelly Rowland plays Leah. I think that's her name, right? Leah was her name?
Yes.
Kelly Rowland plays Leah, and Leah is hoping to be, she's hoping to become the first female to be a showrunner on a, when I say local news, I mean it's actually like supposed to be like a national news thing because it's based in New York City or whatever. Yeah. And there has never been a Black female showrunner on the show. So this is a big moment for her. And so I was like, okay, this is different. This is unique. And what Kelly was giving. So when the movie starts and we're getting introduced to the character and what she's excited for and all these things, I was like, yo, Kelly is actually doing it, right?
Does everyone have the revised rundown?
Got it, Leah. 30 seconds to air.
Is the rolling piece up from edit?
We're leading with the ducks.
Have a good one, Leah.
Let's have a great show.
In 5, 4, 3.
She's been in a couple of films and things along the way, but there's something to having the right directors involved when a movie happens. There's something to having the right script, because there's been previous things she's been in, and I'm like, okay, anybody could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I was like, no, she's really enjoying herself. So all the little quirky moments with her assistant, and then her with her friends, and seeing her excited and seeing her at work, I almost felt like, yeah, Kelly Rowland probably could be a showrunner.
I enjoyed her character very much. Automatically, though, off the rip, I kind of like one of the first things I did pick up was, stubborn black woman trope. I was just, that kind of overplayed for me. But at the same time, Kelly Rowland was still able to make it work specifically for the plot of the movie. Because, just that's things to work on, but we'll dive into that. But honestly, yeah, I did genuinely enjoy her character overall. So there were some points where I was like, "Oh, girl, please!" Like
when?
just, for one, like when her friend got proposed to, and she gonna whisper in her other friends here, like, "I hope that's not his basketball ring, his championship ring." You know what I'm saying? When her friend, like when the dude is about to open up the box to propose to her friends, like, I bet that better not be his basketball ring. And I'm like, girl, stop hating. Just
was she hating though?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, no, not really, because like rightfully so.
I mean, because at this point they had so we're talking about Robin Thiede's character, right?
Right.
Robin Thede, a lot of people got to know her from the Black Lady sketch show, if you ever seen that. There's something about her. I forget her character's name, but there's something about Robin Thede herself, right? I don't know what it is. I'm kind of drawn to her. I don't know why.
She was definitely enjoyable in this movie.
But that's who you're talking about. She had she was dating a guy, a fiance, and I guess he was a former football player, right?
No, he was a basketball player who was
okay.
retiring. He was getting into his retirement soon. And so
Yeah.
that's what he proposed to her at his retirement party.
But there was that scene at the beginning where he did she thought, she was gonna get a proposal at one point, and he was just showing off he got his championship ring cleaned,
Yeah.
And it was really, light humor or whatever, but it worked. It worked for this. Moving through, Leah is hoping to get this promotion. She's got all the skill sets and everything. She has proven herself. She's been loyal. She's been around for it. She's qualified for the job. But much like in real life, being a black woman that's qualified for the job is not enough.
What is going on?
The higher-ups want to bring in another candidate before they decide who's best for the role.
What?
Look, this is not my call. I'm sorry, okay? Leah, unfortunately, this is above me.
Her bosses come to her and they say, hey, we understand that you're qualified, maybe even over, but there are a few other candidates that we want to look at, right? I'm trying to have fun. It's a rom-com. I want to laugh. I want to have a good time. When it got to that, I was like, okay, let's not stay here. We didn't stay there. It was kind of brief. We didn't stay there. We kind of got out of it in a clever way. They introduce her competition, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And this is her competition. Who the other person that's up for the job is Method Man's character, Jarret Roy. All right. And they are gonna be competing for the same role throughout most of the film. And this is where we get a lot of the playful banter, some of the competitive nature or whatever, and things like this. But I before we get into that part of the story, which I'll let you take us into, Brandon, I want to talk about the Method Man rebrand. The Method Man I grew up on.
Yeah.
It's not this Method Man of today.
Yeah, it's that, yeah.
Method Man, and women love Method Man now, right? there was just like a switch. I think it's mostly women who like older guys that really love Method Man. And I also think it's Method Man embracing this new chapter of his life.
Mhm.
I grew up on like How High, listening to Wu-Tang, all these things. You understand?
Right.
So to see Method Man comfortably in his,
Bag. He
I was gonna
basically in his
say
bag.
his sexiest man of the year bag. There you go.
Mhm.
He's going for that. You understand? And a lot of people who watch it would be like, yeah, the casting was on purpose. This is a very black casting, right? There's something for the guys in Kelly, and then there's something for the ladies in Method Man. And then there's whoever likes whatever, there's something for you, right? And so it's a very intentional black casting, but Method Man was like really, he was funny, bruh. I was like,
He was
yo,
funny.
I'm
Like,
enjoying.
I genuinely enjoyed the banter and the back and forth between them. Like
Yeah.
Method responses were like hilarious. They
He
were all
wasn't
hilarious.
he wasn't afraid to like be loose with that character and like really sink his teeth into it. Like him, shouting at her as she's getting on the elevator. The scene of them riding in the car because of the flight
Yes.
issue, and and that montage of him singing all the songs. First of all,
Mhm.
every song, I feel you when you riding and it's a long road trip. Yeah. And he was in it. And at no point did I ever say to myself, this is just Method Man playing a thing. Like
Right.
I was like, no, I'm really getting into these characters. And then they had the chemistry. I don't know how well, because everybody in Black Hollywood knows each other, in one way or the other. But I don't know how well they knew each other or how long they spent time together in real life. But it seemed like they really knew each other for a long time. There was no awkwardness between them. But if you
At all.
could, Brandon, talk to us about the them competing for this job and how we sort of get to the point where we talk about the book.
Well, considering how, so for the characters themselves, they actually have history with each other. And so Leah's character and Leah and both Jarret, they used to date in college.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was college, right? Yeah, it was college. The problem was back in the day, Jarret used to be a little player. So while Leah was falling in love, sure, he may have had love, but he cheated.
Mhm.
And from then on, she continued to work on herself, but build up walls. And with those walls came rules and regulations and all types of hoops that for the next nigga to jump through, you have to meet all these check boxes. You got to meet off all these boxes. And if you don't even meet one of those,
It's a
on to the
wrap.
next. It's a wrap. One of them, like, I look, it was funny too, because there was a clip, like, when they passed over the list, one of them was like straight toes. Like, toes had to be straight. I'm so serious. Like, the toes had, like, one of them said straight toes. I was like, okay, at this point, now you just
Straight
picking.
toes is crazy. Because what does that
But
mean?
really, what does that mean? At this point, now you just saying stuff.
Because toes, toes got them little bulbs. Toes got them little bulbs on the end. So I'm trying to think of a straight toes. Like,
Like, really, like, what does that even?
come on.
What are we doing?
Come on.
Genuinely, what are we doing?
I was enjoying everything about this film.
Mm-hmm.
All of the back and forth, the dialogue, learning about their history, them competing for this job, so to speak. I was on the fence a bit because I did not want the movie to skew too much one way or the other when it came down to them um competing, because there is this narrative on social media that pits black women and black men against each other. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want anything about this movie to exacerbate those social media woes, right? I don't think it's a real thing in real life. Let me be clear. Um, but it seems to be this thing that's constantly perpetuated on social media, putting black men against black women. And so I
Right.
was like, I hope they don't, you know, cause like I hope they don't do like bullshit friction in this just to kind of like make a moment
Yeah,
for
make some plot.
And they didn't. They played it very casual. This was literally just about two characters. This could have been two anybody, right? But two characters that had a history and were competing for a position. And so I think that they executed that well. That
Yeah.
being said, we did get to a point where we lost the plot a little bit for me, Brandon.
Oh,
And that is when the film clearly became, it reminded you, number one, that the film was on Amazon Prime Video. The reason I say that is we started to get very not subtle product placements, right? So there was the other friend whose name I can't remember right now, but she was feeling some kind of way. It was like Valentine's, and she didn't really have a Valentine and all this other thing. And there was like mad product placements. The Brock's
yeah.
candy, which was placed down so that you could see that it was the Brock's Valentine's heart candy.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, this is a very, because it's Prime Video, and if you're watching it
Mhm.
on Prime, chances are you could just exit out or whatever and be in the app to purchase something. You see,
Right.
so it's very not so subtle product placement. This happens a lot in Prime originals, and I get it because it's a rom-com. It's Valentine's time, and I get it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, here comes more product placement when we got to the fact that this movie is because of and inspired by and all the things by Pastor Mike Todd.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon, everyone who didn't already know of the many moments, social media moments and controversies and all these things surrounding Mike Todd, right? Um, most people were recently introduced to Mike Todd as a result of a viral sketch by Drewski.
Right.
And this was
That's why
in
I know that's why I knew him from now.
yeah, this was in recent weeks. He's had other things come up, because he's a social media pastor, right?
Right.
He's had other things come up, but this is the most recent, and this is in recent weeks. So when people see him on their screens, they're going to immediately go to the Drewski sketch, and then also his response to the Drewski sketch.
Oh yeah.
Them making sure that they talked about the book, they showed the book, him and his wife in interviews on the show within the bounds of the film. Them showing him in the church and all these things, and him being inserted into every little scene. I get it. It's your thing. It's based on your thing. I get it. But it became kind of hokey after a while. I was like, okay, if you took out all of that, everything Mike Todd related, meaning them going for the interview and saying, oh, this was the best interview of all. If you took out all of that, we still would have had a fun rom-com film.
Yeah.
And even if you were gonna do a cameo in it, let the cameo be a cameo.
Yeah.
A cameo is usually a scene.
Yeah. He was there for a long time.
A long time. And he reappeared, later in the wedding scene and all this.
He kept reappearing all over the movie.
That took me out of it. When I tell you I was enjoying, I was having a good time. I was watching it. And you know how you watch something and you can feel yourself smiling? Because I was doing that watching this. And then
Yeah,
he showed up and I
was
said, oh, y'all finna do this? And it became my book. And then there was even a scene of a whole bunch of people giving testimonials about what this book did for them and their relationship and all this other stuff. And then we get the Christian spin on the thing.
right.
I was really upset. Like there was the kiss, when they finally kissed, it was supposed to be a dream and all this other stuff. Meaning Kelly Rowland and Method Man. And then when they hooked up, it was just implied hooking up.
Right.
Whatever. We were robbed of the chance to see some heavy petting. And
I agree. But you also got to understand this is a Christian film.
Exactly. And I did not know that going into this, which is
I
probably why
didn't
I
either.
had as much fun as I did, because had I had my expectations up, I probably would have gone into the movie a bit differently. So there's something to that. That could be a me problem, depending on how you look at it. But that's kind of when I checked out. And so once we worked through the rest of the movie, I was blacking out, BK. That's where I was with it. What about you? Once they started got to that point, that's where I was. Did you stay with it after that?
I stayed with it the whole movie. I was down.
Because you didn't realize it was Mike Todd.
Yeah, no. What had happened was in the interview scene when we first got introduced to him, none of us recognized him like at all. And so then when we go to the concert scene, like 2 scenes later, and we see him pop up with his glasses, we peep that, oh, that's dude from the Drewski from the Drewski skit. But the thing is, we didn't realize until like 5-10 minutes later that dude with the glasses and dude in the interview, the pastor with the glasses and the pastor, that's the same person. So like 5 minutes later, we're like, wait, ain't that buddy that just got interviewed? He just Clark Kented us. Like, we did not
Clark Kent is crazy.
I'm telling you.
How could you just not know from the bun, though?
I don't know what it was. Like, sure, same bun and everything, but it's just like, that is not the same person. Genuinely, like, those glasses really had the Clark Kent effect. The Clark Kent effect. I swear, I could not tell that man was that man.
Oh my gosh! And so I remember checking back in or trying to check back in to the film, and next thing I knew, Kelly Rowland's character Leah was going to the cemetery, and she was like grieving. And in my mind, because again, I was you lost me. So I was like, why is she grieving? Right? I had no idea what was even happening at that point. All I knew is that the Allstate man, what's his name?
Allstate.
The Allstate Dennis Haybert played Kelly Rowland's father, right?
Uh-huh.
And I seen him coming to comfort her. It's always good to see him, though. He's a constant presence in a lot of things. And
right.
Yeah, I just didn't know what was happening. And then I blacked out again, and I came to, and there was a wedding. How did we get to the end of this, and what did you think about the end of it? Did you just talk to me, Brandon? Please help me out.
Once again, you may need to rewatch the movie. Because for one, I enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed the film wholeheartedly.
Mhm.
It was a surprise how much I actually enjoyed it, and it's not because I was praising the good Lord now, and also enjoying the movie with some company.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that always helps on a watch, but I could tell I could definitely enjoy this film. Like, if I was watching it by myself and in my right mind, I would this movie would still be a good watch to me. I enjoyed it. And me, I'm not really too big on Christianity. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. I ain't too big on the Christianity. However, it didn't ruin anything for me. Mainly because I can understand when a film is catered towards a specific audience. Yeah. So it's I'm already not mad. I'm already not gonna get upset at anything, because I understand that this is specifically for that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it wasn't cheesy, and it didn't really take away from the main, or it just didn't take away from the film at all. It wasn't annoying. It wasn't annoying. It wasn't cheesy. It didn't feel overdone. It just played into the overall theme of the movie and did it pretty good. It was executed pretty well. I mean, at some points I was kind of looking at them like just quoting the book constantly, like a little corny, but at the same time, I get it.
I
At the
mean,
same time,
get your plug, I guess.
I
It's
know,
your
I guess,
movie.
but it's like they act like all the answers was in the book.
Everything.
Everything was in the book.
Like you could not escape the book, right?
The book, literally, the book was just it's a looming shadow, and the last victim.
That's the thing that was a hard sell for me. I'm gonna say this and then I'll give my rating and then you can give yours. Is if it was just the backdrop, right? So we get
Yeah,
that scene early in the film where um where Method Man's character introduces the book to everyone at work, right?
right.
He's like, oh, it's this book by, and he names Mike Todd. This is book and everything, blah blah blah. He basically gives him his credit. Then the character gives Mike Todd his credit. Then he's like, he became this, you know, big pastor, and he's always going viral and blah 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 because it all started, everything took off with the book, right? Cool, cool. If we had left, if that was it, if that was the plug and we went on with the story, it would have still been fine.
Yep.
Like, why did you have to make it such a sales thing? It was just like, let me make sure everybody knows about this book because when they watch this, even if they haven't bought my book already, they're gonna go and buy it. That seemed to be the kind of logic. And again, it's fine. It's your thing. It's your movie. It's your
Mhm.
book. I get it. What saved it for me was the perfect casting and the great storytelling. The chemistry was on point. Kelly and Method did their thing. Everybody
Mhm.
did their thing in this, and nothing which can happen with romantic comedies. Nothing was cheesy or corny,
Yeah.
right? And even though it had those faith-based elements, it wasn't like overbearing. It didn't beat you over the head. I am going to give this film a Jennifer Lewis. It's not offensive. It's not groundbreaking. It's not, earth-shattering stellar. But there are
Mhm.
some really good performances and you'll like it. It's gonna be hard to hate this film.
Fair.
Um, Everything was done really well. I'm not mad at it. I could totally watch it again, real casual. Uh, I don't think it's gonna be like any majorly quotable moments or any moments that are like really remembered because we get held back by the audience that it's for. But I
Right.
do think that it's lighthearted. We need these guilt-free watches, especially when it comes down to black romance. So that's where I'm at with it. No harm, no foul. Check it out. What about you, Brandon?
It was a surprise because of how much of a shock it was, that how much I enjoyed it, from the plot to the character performances, especially between Kelly Rowland and Method Man. Like, I genuinely loved their dynamic throughout the entire film.
Mhm.
Like, that really just that part, that aspect stole the whole show for
Yeah,
me.
that was worth it.
It was very much worth it. The music was great. They had an excellent score. I was surprised just how many songs that I have on my playlist that just came back to back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like, once they started playing Victoria Monet, I was locked in. Like, y'all had me. Y'all got me. This movie is an automatic. Is automatic in this rating. Um, and then overall, just like, then with the Christianity aspect of it, or with the faith-based aspect of it, it didn't take away from the film. It didn't make the film corny. Because just, and then not only that, but it was a rom-com, and usually I don't enjoy
Ex-
rom-coms. I'm traumatized from
exactly.
Hallmark Channel. I'm tra- I'm traumatized from the Hallmark Channel. It just,
Oh God.
I can't,
If it
like,
started
this.
feeling like Hallmark, I would have turned it off.
Ugh,
So thank God it
instantly.
did not.
I'm so glad it did not. Like, it genuinely felt great. It was modern with the times, like all like the little jokes and references. You know how we got
Yeah.
our verbal mannerisms and everything. Like it was nice. The everything worked. So I personally gave it a Queen Latifah.
Oh, feeling generous, are we?
I'm feeling real, especially because of how much I was able to enjoy this film. Yeah, for me personally, I give it a Queen. Like I give it a Queen Latifah. I don't really like rom-coms. I don't like rom-coms like that. They're just kind of boring to me. But this was very enjoyable.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And 'tis the season for love, ladies and gentlemen. So,
Yes.
find the one you love and give them that black love and sit and watch this film.
Yes, that
It ain't gonna hurt nobody. What did you just say? Anyhow, if you've been watching this long, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell if you have not already. And leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this film. The performances from Kelly and Method Man specifically are my favorite thing. Let us know about your favorite thing down in the comments. I am THRD, and you can find me all over the socials, which are in the show notes, in the description, and you can find BK over there too. BK, any last words?
Happy Black History Month to my people out there.
Happy Black History Month to the Black couples and the Black love.
Yes. Peace, love, and power to the people. Amen.
Amen.